Unlock Your Full Potential, the audiobook that transforms dreams into reality. Introduction. This audiobook is designed to help you unlock your full potential. It's about breaking free from the things that hold you back and pushing forward into a future filled with possibility. Inside, you'll find practical advice and real-life strategies for transforming your dreams into something tangible. Whether you want to overcome self-doubt, build confidence, or create lasting habits that lead to success, this audiobook will guide you every step of the way. You'll learn how to take small, consistent actions that lead to big changes in your life. We'll dive into topics that are often overlooked, like how to stay focused, how to bounce back from setbacks, and how to manage your energy so you feel your best every day. This isn't just about setting goals. It's about creating the mindset and habits that will carry you through the challenges and keep you moving toward your dreams. This audiobook is for anyone who is ready to take control of their future, build the life they've always wanted, and push past the fears that might be standing in their way. No fluff. Just the tools and insights you need to start seeing results. Stick with this journey, and you might just surprise yourself with how much you're capable of. Chapter 1. Discovering Your True Potential. Most people go through life without ever realizing what they are truly capable of. They settle into routines, follow the same patterns, and rarely stop to think about what more they could achieve. The idea of potential is often misunderstood. It is not some special talent reserved for a select few. It is the ability to grow, to learn, and to push past limitations. Everyone has potential, but not everyone unlocks it. Understanding what potential means starts with looking at where you are right now. The way you live, the choices you make, and the habits you follow all play a role in shaping your future. Some people never question why they feel stuck or unfulfilled. They assume that their circumstances are permanent. But the truth is, your current situation does not define your future. You have the power to change, improve, and rise above any limitations you believe you have. The first step to discovering what you are capable of is recognizing that growth is a choice. No one is born knowing exactly what they will become. Skills are learned. Confidence is built. Strength is developed over time. The people who achieve great things are not different from you. They have simply made the decision to pursue their potential. They have chosen to push past doubts, work on their weaknesses, and maximize their strengths. One of the biggest challenges people face is self-doubt. It creeps in quietly, making you question whether you are good enough. It tells you that others are more talented, more experienced, or more deserving of success. But self-doubt is nothing more than a habit of thought. It is not based on fact. The only way to overcome it is by proving to yourself, through action, that you are capable of more than you think. Belief in yourself is not something that appears overnight. It grows when you take small steps outside your comfort zone. Each time you challenge yourself, each time you try something new, your confidence strengthens. The problem is that many people wait until they feel ready before they take action. They wait for the perfect moment, the perfect conditions, or the perfect opportunity. But that moment never comes. Readiness is created through action. You will never feel fully prepared, but you do not need to be. Taking the first step is what matters. Your potential is also shaped by your mindset. The way you think about yourself and your abilities influences what you achieve. Some people have a fixed mindset, believing that their skills and intelligence are set in stone. They see failure as proof that they are not good enough. Others have a growth mindset, understanding that abilities can be developed through effort and persistence. They see failure as a lesson, an opportunity to learn and improve. If you want to unlock your full potential, you must adopt the belief that growth is always possible. It is easy to underestimate yourself. When you have been living a certain way for a long time, it can be difficult to imagine anything different. But change begins with awareness. Think about the moments in your life when you felt truly proud of yourself. Maybe it was overcoming a challenge, achieving a goal, or stepping outside your comfort zone. Those moments prove that you are capable of growth. They show that you have strength, determination, and resilience within you. Fear often holds people back from reaching their potential. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of the unknown. But fear loses its power when you stop avoiding it. The more you face what scares you, the less control it has over you. Every time you take action despite fear, you build courage. You start to realize that failure is not something to be feared, but something to be used. Every mistake, every setback, every obstacle is a lesson that brings you closer to success. The most successful people in the world have failed more times than most have tried. The difference is, they did not let failure stop them. They used it to grow, to adapt, and to become better. One of the most important things you can do to unlock your potential is to set clear and meaningful goals. Without a goal, it is easy to drift through life without direction. Goals give you a reason to push yourself. They provide focus, motivation, and a sense of purpose. But not all goals are created equal. Some people set vague goals like, "I want to be successful," or "I want to be happier." These are not goals, they are wishes. A real goal is specific and actionable. Instead of, "I want to be successful," define what success looks like for you. Instead of, "I want to be happier," identify what brings you joy and make a plan to incorporate more of it into your life. Unlocking your potential is also about discipline. Talent alone is not enough. Hard work and consistency are what separate those who succeed from those who do not. People often think motivation is the key to success, but motivation is unreliable. It comes and goes. Discipline, on the other hand, is what keeps you moving forward even when you do not feel like it. It is the ability to stay committed to your goals, even on the days when progress feels slow. The more disciplined you become, the more unstoppable you will be. The people you surround yourself with also influence your potential. If you are constantly around negative, unmotivated individuals, their mindset will affect yours. On the other hand, if you spend time with people who challenge you, support you, and push you to be better, you will naturally grow. Find mentors, friends, and role models who inspire you. Learn from them. Absorb their habits, their mindset, and their work ethic. Your environment matters too. The things you read, watch, and listen to shape your thoughts and beliefs. If you consume negativity all day, it will be hard to maintain a positive and determined mindset. Be mindful of what you expose yourself to. Choose content that uplifts, educates, and motivates you. Your potential is influenced by what you allow into your mind. Discovering your potential requires action. You can read, plan, and think about your goals all day, but nothing will change until you do something. Start small. Take one step today that brings you closer to where you want to be. It could be learning a new skill, stepping out of your comfort zone, or committing to a daily habit that improves your life. Progress happens through action. Every step forward, no matter how small, is a step toward unlocking what you are truly capable of. Your potential is not something outside of you. It is already there. It is waiting for you to believe in it, to nurture it, and to act on it. You do not need permission. You do not need to wait for the right time. The only thing standing between you and the life you are meant to live is the decision to start. The choice is yours. Chapter 2. Breaking free from self-doubt. Self-doubt is a natural part of being human. It's that little voice in your head that tells you, "You're not good enough," "You don't have what it takes," or "Why even try?" We all face it. Whether it's before starting a new project, making a big decision, or taking a step toward your dreams, self-doubt has a way of sneaking in. The tricky part is, when you listen to it too much, it can hold you back from achieving what you truly want. We've all been there, right? You want to do something, start a new job, pick up a new skill, or take on a new challenge, but self-doubt makes you hesitate. You think about the possible failure, the judgment, and all the things that could go wrong. But what if you could change your relationship with self-doubt? What if you could use it as a tool, not a roadblock? The first step in breaking free from self-doubt is understanding that it's normal. Everyone experiences it at some point. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is not the absence of self-doubt, but how they deal with it. The goal isn't to eliminate self-doubt completely, it's about not letting it control you. The first thing to realize is that self-doubt often stems from fear. Fear of failure, fear of what others might think, fear of not being good enough. It can feel paralyzing at times, especially when the stakes seem high. But fear is something that everyone faces. What separates successful people from those who struggle is their ability to act in spite of that fear. Think about it. Every time you step out of your comfort zone, you're taking a leap into the unknown. And yes, that's scary, but you're also stepping toward growth. You're moving toward a version of yourself that's more capable, more confident, and more aligned with your true potential. The fear won't go away, but it doesn't need to stop you. Instead, acknowledge it, accept it, and then move forward. One of the most important things to do when self-doubt hits is to challenge it. Ask yourself, is this fear based on reality, or is it just my mind making up stories? Often, we let our minds run wild with worst-case scenarios. But how often do those things actually happen? Rarely, if ever. Most of the time, our worries are exaggerated versions of the truth. They're not facts, they're just thoughts, and thoughts can be changed. Another way to break free from self-doubt is by reframing failure. Most of us see failure as the end of the road, the ultimate sign that we're not good enough. But failure is not a reflection of your worth, it's a part of the process. Every successful person has failed multiple times. What makes them successful is not their ability to avoid failure, but their ability to learn from it. Instead of seeing failure as something to fear, start seeing it as a lesson. Each time you fail, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I grow from this experience? This shift in mindset will not only help you break free from self-doubt, but will also give you the resilience to keep going. When you stop viewing failure as a negative, it loses its power to control you. It becomes just another step in the journey. Another way to quiet self-doubt is by focusing on your strengths. When you're in doubt, it's easy to focus on what you don't have or what you think you lack. You may start to compare yourself to others and feel like you're not measuring up. But the truth is, no one else has the same combination of talents, skills, and life experiences that you do. You bring something unique to the table. When you're feeling unsure of yourself, take a moment to reflect on your past successes. What have you accomplished in the past that made you proud? What skills or qualities did you tap into to achieve those successes? Remind yourself that you have everything you need within you to succeed again. Sometimes we forget our own strengths because we're so focused on what we don't have, but you've already proven that you're capable, and you'll prove it again. When self-doubt creeps in, it's also important to take action. Taking small steps toward your goal, even when you don't feel fully confident, helps to build momentum. The more action you take, the more you realize that you can handle what comes your way. Confidence is built through doing, not by thinking. The more you push yourself to take action, even in the face of fear, the more you'll start to trust in yourself. If you wait for self-doubt to completely disappear before you take action, you'll never move forward. It's easy to think that you need to feel 100% confident before you start something new, but that's not how confidence works. Confidence grows as you face challenges and take steps toward your goals. It's a byproduct of action, not an inherent trait that you need to wait for. Surrounding yourself with supportive people is another key to overcoming self-doubt. When you're struggling with doubts, the last thing you need is someone who reinforces those doubts. Find people who encourage you, believe in you, and push you to be the best version of yourself. Having a strong support system can help you push through moments of doubt and remind you of your worth. You don't need a huge group of people, just a few who genuinely care about your success. These are the people who will celebrate your wins with you and help you through your challenges. When you feel unsure of yourself, reach out to them. Sometimes, all it takes is a word of encouragement or a reminder of your strengths to get you back on track. One of the most powerful ways to deal with self-doubt is by creating a positive feedback loop. Every time you accomplish something, no matter how small, celebrate it. Take time to acknowledge your achievements and give yourself credit for your progress. When you start focusing on your successes rather than your failures, you start to build a positive narrative about yourself. The more you focus on what you've done well, the less space there is for self-doubt to creep in. Over time, this will change the way you view yourself. You'll begin to see yourself as someone who is capable of achieving great things, and that mindset will help you push through self-doubt when it arises. Another way to tackle self-doubt is by setting small, achievable goals. When you set big goals, it's easy to get overwhelmed and start doubting whether you can really pull it off. But when you break those goals down into smaller steps, you'll start to see that they are more manageable. Each time you accomplish one of those smaller goals, you'll gain more confidence in your ability to reach the next one. And remember, progress is progress, no matter how small. You don't have to accomplish everything all at once. The important thing is that you're moving forward. Every step, no matter how small, brings you closer to your larger goals. By focusing on the next step instead of the entire journey, you can quiet your self-doubt and stay focused on what's right in front of you. When self-doubt appears, it's easy to assume that you're not meant for success. But that's simply not true. Self-doubt is a normal part of the human experience, but it doesn't define you. It's a feeling, not a fact. And the more you challenge it, the less power it will have over you. By taking action, surrounding yourself with supportive people, focusing on your strengths, and embracing failure as a learning experience, you can break free from self-doubt. Your potential is limitless, but it's up to you to take the steps to unlock it. The key is not waiting for self-doubt to disappear, but continuing to move forward, no matter how you feel. You've got this. Keep going. Chapter 3. Setting clear goals that actually work. You might have heard it 1,000 times. Set goals. But setting goals the right way is more than just making a list of things you want to achieve. It's about clarity, purpose, and taking action. Without clear goals, it's like trying to get somewhere without a map. You may have a general idea of where you want to go, but without specifics, it's easy to get lost. The real power comes when you create goals that give you direction and fuel your motivation. A lot of people make the mistake of setting vague, wishy-washy goals like, I want to be happy, I want to get in shape, or I want to be successful. These are great aspirations, but they lack the specifics needed to turn them into reality. Vague goals don't give you anything to measure, so it becomes hard to know if you're even making progress. Imagine setting out on a road trip with no destination in mind. You might drive around for a while, but you'll probably just end up wasting time. The key to setting goals that actually work is being specific. Instead of saying, I want to be healthy, you might say, I want to exercise for 30 minutes every day for the next 3 months. This gives you something tangible to work toward. You know exactly what you need to do, and you can track your progress along the way. Specific goals provide clarity. They tell you what to do, when to do it, and how to measure whether you're succeeding or not. Once you've decided on the specifics, it's time to think about the bigger picture. Many people make the mistake of focusing only on the end result without considering the steps needed to get there. The key is to break your goals down into smaller, actionable steps. For example, if your goal is to write a book, you could break it down into daily word count targets or set aside specific times each week for writing. Instead of being overwhelmed by the thought of writing an entire book, you're now focused on manageable chunks, making the process much less daunting. But breaking down a goal is not just about making the task feel easier. It's also about making the path clear. You want to create a roadmap that you can follow every day, a path that keeps you focused and motivated. When you know exactly what you need to do each day, you're less likely to procrastinate or feel lost in the process. If you're aiming to run a marathon, your goal might be to run 3 times a week, slowly increasing the distance each month. The more detailed and broken down your goals are, the more achievable they become. An important part of goal setting is aligning them with your values. If your goals don't resonate with what truly matters to you, it will be hard to stay committed to them. Your goals should reflect your personal desires and values, not what someone else thinks you should want. This means taking the time to reflect on what you genuinely care about and what you want to build in your life. Maybe you want to improve your health because you value feeling strong and energetic. Or maybe you want to start a business because you value independence and creativity. When your goals are rooted in your core values, you'll find that the motivation to pursue them comes more naturally. Another important piece of the puzzle is setting deadlines. Without a deadline, it's easy to put things off indefinitely. Having a specific time frame creates a sense of urgency and helps you stay accountable. It also allows you to track your progress more effectively. Instead of saying, "I'll get in shape someday," you can say, "I'm going to work out 3 times a week for the next 2 months and evaluate my progress at the end." Deadlines give you structure, and structure helps you avoid drifting. While deadlines are important, it's also essential to remain flexible. Life can be unpredictable, and sometimes things don't go as planned. You might face obstacles or unexpected challenges along the way. When that happens, it's important not to be too hard on yourself. Instead, use those moments as learning experiences. Adjust your plan if needed and keep moving forward. Flexibility is about being willing to adapt while still keeping your eye on the prize. If you get knocked down, you don't have to give up entirely. Adjust, reset, and continue. Accountability is another powerful tool in the goal-setting process. It's easy to slip into bad habits or let a goal fall to the side when you don't have anyone to check in with. Sharing your goals with someone you trust adds a layer of responsibility. Whether it's a friend, a family member, or a mentor, having someone who knows your goals and who will check in on your progress helps keep you motivated and on track. If you're working on a personal project, like writing a book or learning a new skill, having someone to talk to about it keeps you engaged and accountable. When you tell someone about your goals, you're more likely to follow through because you've made a commitment. Visualization is another tool that can help you set and achieve your goals. Take a few minutes every day to picture yourself reaching your goal. Imagine how it will feel when you've accomplished it. Visualizing success not only helps you stay motivated, but it also reinforces your belief that it's possible. The more you visualize your success, the clearer the path becomes. It helps you picture yourself taking the necessary actions and overcoming any obstacles along the way. Sometimes the biggest barrier to setting and achieving goals is fear. You might be afraid that you're not good enough, that you'll fail, or that others won't support you. Fear can make even the smallest goals feel like mountains. But fear is often based on imagined scenarios. It's a feeling, not a fact. When you feel that fear creeping in, take a step back and ask yourself, what's the worst that could happen, and is that really as bad as I think? Often, the worst-case scenario is much less terrifying than our minds make it out to be. By addressing that fear and moving past it, you'll find that setting goals becomes easier and more natural. Another obstacle that many people face when setting goals is perfectionism. You might be afraid to start because you don't think you're ready, or you worry that your work won't be perfect. But here's the thing, perfection doesn't exist. The goal isn't to do everything perfectly, it's to make progress. The more you focus on progress over perfection, the less you'll get stuck in the cycle of procrastination. Start where you are, with what you have. You can always improve as you go. It's better to take imperfect action than to wait for the perfect moment that may never come. One of the most important things to remember when setting goals is to be patient with yourself. Change takes time, and reaching your goals won't happen overnight. It's easy to get frustrated when things don't go as planned or when progress feels slow. But remember, every step you take is a step closer to your goal. Celebrate the small wins along the way, and don't beat yourself up for the setbacks. Success is a journey, not a destination, and the more you enjoy the process, the more rewarding it will be. As you work toward your goals, remember to review and adjust them as needed. It's okay if your goals change over time. As you grow and learn more about yourself, your priorities might shift. Reassess your goals periodically to ensure that they still align with your values and the life you want to create. If something no longer excites you or doesn't serve your greater purpose, don't be afraid to let it go and replace it with something that inspires you. Setting clear goals is the first step in turning your dreams into reality. With a clear vision, a solid plan, and the commitment to take action, you'll be well on your way to achieving what you've set out to do. The key is to keep moving forward, no matter how small the steps, and to trust that with persistence, you will get there. Chapter 4. Turning Dreams into Action. You have a dream, an idea, or a vision of something you want to achieve. It's exciting, right? That feeling of possibility is powerful. But here's the catch. Dreams, no matter how big or inspiring, don't come true unless you take action. Without action, dreams are just thoughts floating around in your head, not tangible results. To turn your dream into reality, you need to move beyond thinking about it and start doing something about it. The first step in turning your dreams into action is breaking them down into small, manageable steps. Big dreams can feel overwhelming, and it's easy to get stuck in the thinking phase, wondering how you're going to make it happen, stressing about all the things that could go wrong, or doubting if you're even capable. But the truth is, no dream is too big if you break it down into bite-sized pieces. When you focus on one small step at a time, the dream becomes less intimidating and more achievable. Start by asking yourself, what's the first thing I need to do to move closer to my dream? Often, that first step is the hardest, because it's the moment when you decide to act instead of just thinking. But once you take that first step, momentum starts to build. It's like a snowball rolling down a hill. Each action you take adds more to the momentum, making the next step easier and the dream feel more within reach. Another key to turning your dreams into action is setting deadlines. Without a sense of urgency, it's easy to put things off. It's easy to say, I'll work on that tomorrow, or I'll start next week. But when you give yourself a clear deadline, something shifts. You go from having a vague idea to having a target to aim for. Deadlines force you to focus, prioritize, and take consistent steps toward your goal. A deadline isn't about pressure. It's about creating structure that keeps you accountable. Deadlines also help you measure progress. Instead of feeling lost in the middle of the process, you can see how far you've come. Each milestone you reach along the way gives you a sense of accomplishment and keeps you moving forward. When you break your larger goal into smaller tasks and set a deadline for each one, you create a roadmap that guides you toward your ultimate dream. Taking action doesn't always mean making huge moves right away. Sometimes the most important thing is simply starting. Even if you don't feel fully ready or confident, starting creates the momentum you need to keep going. A lot of people get caught up in the idea that they have to have everything figured out before they start, but that's not true. It's okay to not have all the answers right away. The important part is to begin and let the process unfold as you go. Another challenge many people face is the fear of failure. The idea of failing can be paralyzing, but the truth is, failure is part of the process. Every successful person has failed at some point, but they didn't let failure stop them. They used it as a learning experience and kept moving forward. Instead of letting fear of failure hold you back, use it as fuel. Understand that mistakes will happen, but they don't define you. They're simply opportunities to learn and improve. When you reframe failure as a step toward success, it loses its power to hold you back. Staying focused is another important element in turning dreams into action. It's easy to get distracted by shiny new ideas or to feel overwhelmed by everything that needs to be done. But the key to making progress is staying focused on the task at hand. That doesn't mean you have to work non-stop or be rigid about your approach. It just means that when you commit to something, you give it your full attention. Avoid jumping from one thing to the next without finishing what you started. Focus helps you make steady progress, and that progress adds up over time. It's also important to recognize that turning your dream into reality will require consistent effort. There will be days when it feels like you're not making any progress. There will be times when it feels like you've hit a wall, or that the dream is too far away. But if you continue to show up and put in the work every day, you will move closer to your goal. Consistency is what separates those who achieve their dreams from those who don't. It's not about making huge leaps all the time. It's about taking steady, consistent steps. One way to stay consistent is by creating routines and habits that support your dream. If you want to write a book, set aside time each day to write. If you want to get fit, make exercise a part of your daily routine. Habits take the pressure off of having to make decisions about what to do next. When your actions become automatic, you don't have to waste energy thinking about whether you should do something. It just becomes part of your day. Another powerful tool for turning dreams into action is accountability. It's easy to talk about your dreams and plans, but when you have someone holding you accountable, you're more likely to follow through. Share your goals with someone who will check in on your progress. This could be a friend, a mentor, or even a coach. When you know someone else is aware of what you're working toward, you feel a greater sense of responsibility to keep moving forward. Accountability adds an extra layer of motivation and support. Sometimes, the key to action is simply removing the distractions in your life. We live in a world full of constant interruptions, whether it's social media, emails, or other people. If you want to turn your dream into reality, you need to find ways to minimize these distractions and focus on what matters. Create a space where you can work without interruptions, whether it's a quiet room, a coffee shop, or a time of day when everyone else is busy. Turn off notifications, set boundaries, and protect your time. The more you can control your environment, the easier it will be to stay focused on your goals. Another obstacle that many people face is the feeling of overwhelm. When the task at hand feels too big, it's easy to shut down and avoid taking action altogether. But this is where breaking the dream down into smaller steps comes in handy. Instead of looking at the big picture and feeling overwhelmed, focus on the next small step in front of you. Ask yourself, what's the next thing I can do to move forward? Small actions add up over time and help reduce the feeling of being overwhelmed. It's also helpful to remember why you started in the first place. Keep your why front and center, especially during challenging times. When you remember the reason you set your goal in the first place, it helps reignite your motivation. Whether it's the desire for personal growth, a better life for your family, or the freedom to do what you love, your why gives you the fuel you need to keep going, even when things get tough. Perfectionism can also be a barrier to action. The desire to do everything perfectly can hold you back from taking the first step. But the reality is, nothing is ever going to be perfect. Waiting for the perfect moment or the perfect plan will only delay your progress. Start where you are, with what you have, and allow yourself to make mistakes along the way. It's better to take action and learn as you go than to wait for everything to be flawless. The truth is, no matter how big or small your dream is, it's going to take time, effort, and dedication. But if you're willing to put in the work, the results will follow. It's not about having everything figured out from the start. It's about showing up each day, doing the work, and trusting the process. When you take consistent action, you move closer to your dream with every step you take. And before you know it, that dream you once only imagined will become your reality. Chapter 5. Building Strong Daily Habits. When it comes to achieving any goal or making a meaningful change in life, what you do consistently is more important than what you do occasionally. Habits are the building blocks of success, and the actions you take every day shape the person you become. The trick isn't just about focusing on the big milestones or dream goals. It's about the small, consistent things you do every day that push you toward those dreams. Building strong habits is like laying down a foundation for a house. At first, it might seem like small steps don't make a big difference, but over time, they start to compound and lead to real, lasting change. Whether you're trying to get healthier, learn a new skill, or improve your productivity, daily habits are the key to getting there. The habits you form today determine your success tomorrow. If you want to reach your fullest potential, the first thing you need to do is take control of your daily routines. Creating strong habits starts with understanding the power of consistency. Imagine if you practice playing the guitar for 15 minutes every day for a month. You may not become a master overnight, but after 30 days, you'll have improved significantly. It's not about doing everything perfectly from the start. It's about showing up every day and putting in the effort. That consistency will begin to pay off, even when it feels like you're not making noticeable progress. To build habits that stick, you have to start small. Trying to change everything all at once is a recipe for burnout. If your goal is to get fit, don't commit to spending 2 hours at the gym every day right away. Instead, start with 20 or 30-minute workouts a few times a week. Once that becomes a consistent habit, you can gradually increase the intensity or frequency. Trying to make drastic changes all at once can overwhelm you and make it harder to build a lasting habit. Smaller changes are more manageable, and they give you the chance to build momentum. Another crucial part of building strong habits is setting clear intentions. Don't just say, "I want to exercise more." Instead, be specific. I will go for a 30-minute walk every morning before work. The clearer your intention, the easier it is to stay focused and on track. When your goals are specific, it's easier to measure progress, and you'll feel more accomplished each time you complete a task. Without that clarity, it's easy to put things off or forget your goals altogether. One of the reasons people fail to stick to new habits is that they try to change too many things at once. Focus on one habit at a time, especially in the beginning. Once you've mastered one habit and made it a natural part of your routine, you can build on it by adding another. Trying to overhaul everything at once can make you feel scattered, and it's harder to stay focused. Instead, approach habit building with patience and persistence. Allow each habit to become part of your daily routine before adding something new. Creating the right environment is another important step in building habits. Your environment has a huge impact on your ability to stick to your routines. If you want to eat healthier, for example, keep nutritious foods within easy reach. If you want to read more, place your books in spots where you'll see them often. Make sure your environment is set up to support your goals. When your surroundings align with the habits you're trying to build, it's much easier to follow through. Accountability plays a major role in sticking to new habits. It's much harder to break a habit when you know someone else is counting on you or checking in with you. Tell a friend, family member, or coworker about the new habits you're trying to build. Share your goals with them and ask them to hold you accountable. Whether it's checking in with them every week or sending a quick update about your progress, knowing someone else is aware of your efforts makes it harder to back out. Another powerful way to reinforce new habits is by tracking your progress. Sometimes you won't feel like you're getting anywhere, especially in the beginning. That's why tracking your progress is so important. Whether you write it down in a journal, mark it on a calendar, or use an app, tracking helps you see just how far you've come. The act of checking off each day or seeing the numbers add up creates a sense of achievement, even if your progress feels slow at first. Rewards can also help you stick with a new habit. When you're trying to build a habit, it's important to give yourself a little incentive for sticking to it. This doesn't have to be something big. Maybe it's treating yourself to a nice coffee after completing your workout or watching your favorite show after a productive day. These rewards create positive reinforcement, which makes it easier to continue with the habit over time. Your brain starts to associate the habit with a sense of reward, and that can keep you motivated to keep going. One of the biggest obstacles to building lasting habits is the feeling of resistance. There will be days when you just don't feel like doing the work. Maybe you're tired, or you'd rather do something else. These moments are normal, but they don't have to derail your progress. When you're feeling resistance, remember why you started in the first place. Reflect on your goals and remind yourself of the benefits of following through. If you don't feel like doing something, just start small. Even a few minutes of action can break the resistance and help you get back on track. Another challenge people face when building habits is the fear of failure. We often believe that if we miss a day or slip up, it means we've failed. But the reality is, one bad day doesn't undo all your hard work. It's important to be kind to yourself when things don't go as planned. Everyone has setbacks. The key is to not let one mistake prevent you from getting back on track. When you slip up, don't use it as an excuse to give up entirely. Get back at it the next day, and remember that perfection isn't the goal, progress is. The power of habits lies in their ability to become automatic over time. In the beginning, you have to put in conscious effort, but eventually the habit becomes second nature. Once you've built a habit, it takes less mental energy to maintain it. It becomes something you just do, like brushing your teeth or getting dressed in the morning. That's when the true magic happens, when the habit becomes so ingrained that you don't have to think about it anymore. Sometimes building habits can feel slow or even frustrating, but remember that consistency is what matters most. Even if you don't see immediate results, know that each day you stick with your habit, you're moving closer to your goal. Trust the process, stay patient, and celebrate your progress along the way. And as you build your habits, be open to adjusting them as needed. Life changes, and sometimes the habits that worked for you in the past may no longer be serving you. It's okay to adapt and change your habits to suit your current needs. Flexibility doesn't mean quitting, it means evolving. The key is to stay focused on the bigger picture and make adjustments as you go. Keep your habits aligned with your goals and continue to move forward, no matter how small the steps may seem. Building strong daily habits isn't always easy, but it's one of the most powerful things you can do for your personal growth and success. The more you commit to consistent actions every day, the more your dreams and goals will become a reality. Stick with it, stay patient, and watch how your daily habits transform your life. Chapter 6. Overcoming Fear and Failure. Fear and failure are two of the biggest hurdles that hold us back from reaching our full potential. They often appear when we step outside our comfort zone, chase our dreams, or try to take on something new. If you've ever felt afraid of failure, unsure of what could go wrong, or doubted your ability to succeed, you're not alone. Everyone faces these challenges at some point in their journey, but the way we handle fear and failure will determine how far we can go. Fear often starts with the unknown. It's natural to feel uneasy when you're faced with a new challenge or situation that you've never encountered before. The mind starts to imagine all the worst-case scenarios, and before you know it, you're caught in a spiral of doubts and worries. What if I fail? What if I'm not good enough? What if it doesn't work out? These thoughts can be paralyzing and prevent you from even trying. But the key to overcoming fear is to understand that fear is not a signal to stop, but rather a sign that you're growing and pushing beyond your limits. The truth is, fear doesn't go away just because you wish it would. In fact, fear is often a constant companion when you're striving for something important. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is how they deal with that fear. Instead of running from it, successful people face their fear head-on. They acknowledge it, accept that it's part of the process, and push through it. Fear doesn't have to control your actions. When you accept that fear will be there, but choose to act anyway, you take away its power. One way to deal with fear is to break it down into smaller, more manageable pieces. Often, fear feels overwhelming because it's tied to a big, unknown outcome. When you focus on the next small step instead of the entire journey, it becomes less intimidating. For example, if you're afraid of speaking in public, don't think about the entire presentation. Focus on practicing for 5 minutes today. Break it down into tiny steps that you can handle. This helps shift the focus away from the big, scary idea and allows you to take one small action at a time. Over time, those small actions build your confidence and diminish the fear. Another powerful tool for overcoming fear is preparation. Fear thrives in uncertainty. When you feel unprepared, the fear of not being able to handle things is much greater. But when you take the time to prepare, whether it's practicing a skill, gathering information, or planning out your steps, fear loses some of its power. Preparation doesn't guarantee that things will go perfectly, but it increases your confidence and gives you the ability to handle whatever comes your way. The more prepared you are, the less room there is for fear to take hold. Failure is another inevitable part of the journey, and it's often something that people fear even more than the unknown. The idea of failing can feel shameful, discouraging, or like the end of the road. But the reality is, failure is just a stepping stone to success. No one who has ever achieved anything meaningful has done so without failing along the way. Failure isn't a reflection of your worth or abilities. It's simply feedback. It shows you what doesn't work and guides you toward what will. When you change your perspective on failure, it becomes a powerful tool for growth rather than something to avoid at all costs. If you've ever failed at something, you know how discouraging it can feel. It's easy to think, "I'm not good enough," or "I'll never get it right." But it's important to remind yourself that failure doesn't mean the end of your journey. It means you're one step closer to finding the solution. Each failure teaches you something new, whether it's a skill, a lesson in resilience, or simply a better way to approach the task. Instead of letting failure define you, allow it to refine you. Use it as an opportunity to grow stronger, smarter, and more prepared for the next challenge. The fear of failure is often rooted in the idea that we need to be perfect. We live in a world where success is often portrayed as a straight line with no mistakes or setbacks along the way. But in reality, success is messy. It's full of ups and downs, twists and turns, and unexpected challenges. The people who succeed are not the ones who avoid failure at all costs, but the ones who fail, learn, and keep going. If you're waiting for the perfect moment or the perfect plan, you might be waiting forever. Instead, take imperfect action and embrace the lessons that come with each setback. One way to reframe failure is to see it as part of the learning process. Imagine trying to learn a new language or pick up a musical instrument. You wouldn't expect to be fluent or play a perfect song after one try, right? You would expect to make mistakes, stumble through words, or miss a note now and then. It's the same with any goal. When you try something new or push yourself to achieve something big, mistakes are inevitable, but each mistake is a lesson that helps you improve. The more you fail and learn from it, the closer you get to mastering whatever it is you're trying to achieve. Resilience is an essential part of overcoming both fear and failure. It's about bouncing back after a setback and not allowing yourself to be defeated by obstacles. Everyone encounters challenges, but not everyone reacts to them in the same way. Resilient people are the ones who view setbacks as temporary and find ways to keep moving forward. They don't let one failure or one moment of fear define their journey. Instead, they keep pushing forward, knowing that each setback is just part of the process. To build resilience, start by developing a growth mindset. This means believing that your abilities can improve with effort and perseverance. When you have a growth mindset, you view challenges as opportunities to learn and grow, rather than as insurmountable obstacles. Instead of saying, "I can't do this," say, "I can't do this yet." This simple shift in mindset can make a world of difference in how you approach challenges. Another important aspect of overcoming fear and failure is self-compassion. It's easy to be hard on yourself when things don't go as planned. You might criticize yourself, feel frustrated, or question your abilities. But self-compassion means treating yourself with the same kindness and understanding that you would offer a friend in a similar situation. Recognize that you're human, and mistakes are part of life. Don't be too harsh on yourself when things go wrong. Instead, show yourself grace, learn from the experience, and keep moving forward. One of the most powerful ways to overcome fear and failure is by taking action despite the fear. The more you avoid something because of fear, the stronger that fear becomes. But when you push through that fear and take action anyway, you start to break its hold over you. Each time you act in spite of fear, you prove to yourself that you're capable. The more action you take, the less fear will control you. It's a process, but every step you take builds your confidence and diminishes the power of fear. Fear and failure are natural parts of the journey, but they don't have to stop you. When you face your fears, embrace failure as a lesson, and continue moving forward, you'll find that you're more resilient, more confident, and more capable than you ever imagined. Don't let fear or failure define you. Instead, let them fuel your growth and drive you toward the success you're capable of achieving. Chapter 7. Staying focused and productive. Staying focused and productive can be challenging, especially in a world full of distractions. With the constant flow of information, notifications, and responsibilities, it's easy to feel overwhelmed and struggle to keep your attention on the tasks that matter most. But if you want to achieve your goals and make meaningful progress in life, learning how to stay focused and be productive is essential. It's not about working harder or longer. It's about working smarter and making the most of the time you have. The first step towards staying focused is understanding your priorities. In a busy world, it's easy to get caught up in the daily grind, responding to emails, attending meetings, or handling small tasks that don't contribute to your bigger goals. But the key to staying focused is to identify what truly matters. What are the things that will bring you closer to your long-term success? Focus on those tasks and make sure you dedicate your time and energy to them. It's easy to get distracted by small, unimportant things, but by staying focused on your priorities, you ensure that you're making progress on what matters most. Once you've identified your priorities, the next step is to break them down into smaller, manageable tasks. Big goals can feel overwhelming, and it's easy to put them off because they seem too far out of reach. But by breaking them down into smaller tasks, you can make steady progress each day. If your goal is to write a book, for example, don't focus on the idea of writing an entire book right away. Instead, focus on writing one chapter, one page, or even one paragraph at a time. When you break down a large goal into smaller, more achievable steps, it becomes less intimidating, and it's easier to stay focused on the task at hand. Another important aspect of staying focused is managing your environment. Your surroundings can have a big impact on your ability to concentrate. If you're working from home, for instance, it can be tempting to check your phone, watch television, or get distracted by household chores. To stay focused, create a workspace that is free from distractions. Set up a dedicated area where you can work without interruptions. Put away your phone or any other items that might pull your attention away from the task. A cluttered, chaotic environment can make it harder to concentrate, while a clean and organized workspace can help you stay focused and productive. In addition to managing your environment, time management is key to staying focused. It's easy to waste time without even realizing it, especially when you're juggling multiple tasks. One of the best ways to stay productive is to set specific time blocks for each task. For example, you might dedicate 1 hour in the morning to writing, followed by a short break, and then spend another hour on a different task. By breaking your day into focused time blocks, you can give your full attention to each task without feeling overwhelmed or distracted. And when the time block is over, you can take a break and recharge before moving on to the next task. Staying focused also requires discipline. It's easy to give in to distractions, especially when you're feeling tired, bored, or unmotivated. But the key to productivity is to push through those moments of resistance. When you don't feel like working, remind yourself of why you're doing it. Think about your bigger goals and the progress you've made so far. Sometimes, All it takes is a little bit of discipline to push through the tough moments and get back on track. Over time, the more you practice discipline, the easier it becomes to stay focused, even when you don't feel like it. Another effective way to stay focused is by setting clear, specific goals. It's much easier to stay focused when you know exactly what you need to accomplish. Instead of having vague goals like get more done, set specific goals like write 500 words today or finish this project by Friday. The clearer your goals are, the more focused your efforts will be. When you have a clear target in mind, it's easier to eliminate distractions and stay on track. Taking care of your physical and mental well-being is also essential for staying focused. If you're tired, stressed, or not feeling well, it can be much harder to stay productive. Make sure you're getting enough sleep, eating nutritious foods, and exercising regularly. Your mind and body are interconnected, and taking care of one will positively impact the other. When you're physically energized and mentally clear, you'll be able to focus better and accomplish more. One of the biggest challenges to staying focused is the constant barrage of distractions. Between social media, emails, and phone notifications, it's easy to get pulled in a million directions. To stay focused, it's important to set boundaries and limit distractions. Turn off notifications on your phone or put your phone in another room while you work. If you're working on a computer, use apps or browser extensions that block distracting websites. Create a plan for how you'll handle distractions when they arise. Instead of checking your phone every few minutes, set specific times during the day to check emails or social media. By controlling when and how you engage with distractions, you'll be able to stay focused on the task at hand. It's also important to take regular breaks to recharge and avoid burnout. Working for long stretches without a break can lead to fatigue, decreased focus, and reduced productivity. Schedule short breaks throughout your day, and use that time to rest and refresh your mind. Whether it's taking a walk, stretching, or simply stepping away from your work for a few minutes, breaks can help you stay focused and maintain your energy levels. The key is to find a balance between working hard and taking time to recharge. Tracking your progress is another effective strategy for staying focused and motivated. When you can see how much you've accomplished, it boosts your confidence and encourages you to keep going. Keep a checklist of the tasks you need to complete and check them off as you go. Seeing your progress visually can provide a sense of accomplishment and help you stay motivated to continue working. If you're working on a long-term project, break it down into smaller milestones and celebrate each one as you reach it. Tracking your progress not only helps you stay focused, but it also reminds you of how far you've come and keeps you moving forward. Accountability is also a powerful motivator. Having someone to check in with or share your goals with can help you stay on track and focused. Whether it's a friend, a coworker, or a mentor, having someone hold you accountable makes it harder to procrastinate or give in to distractions. You're more likely to stay focused and complete your tasks when someone else is aware of your goals and progress. If you don't have someone to hold you accountable, consider finding a buddy to work with or join a group that shares similar goals. The support and encouragement of others can keep you focused and motivated. Staying focused and productive isn't about trying to be perfect or working non-stop. It's about being intentional with your time, setting clear goals, managing your environment, and staying disciplined in the face of distractions. By making small adjustments to how you approach your work and maintaining a healthy balance between productivity and rest, you can stay focused and accomplish more than you ever thought possible. Remember, the key is not to work harder, but to work smarter and stay consistent in your efforts. With the right mindset and habits, you can stay on track and achieve the success you're striving for. Chapter 8: Developing Self-Discipline. Self-discipline is one of the most powerful tools you can use to achieve your goals and build a successful life. It's the ability to stay focused on your long-term objectives, even when faced with temptations, distractions, or challenges. Self-discipline is what separates those who achieve their dreams from those who give up along the way. It's not about working harder. It's about staying consistent, making smart decisions, and sticking with your goals no matter what obstacles arise. The first thing to understand about self-discipline is that it's not something you're born with. It's a skill that can be developed over time. Like any skill, it requires practice, patience, and persistence. If you've struggled with staying disciplined in the past, don't worry. You're not alone, and the good news is that you can build self-discipline just like you can build a muscle. It may take time, but the more you practice, the stronger it will become. One of the most important steps to developing self-discipline is creating a strong foundation of habits. Habits are the building blocks of self-discipline. When you create habits that align with your goals, they start to run on autopilot, requiring less conscious effort from you. Instead of relying on willpower to push through every day, you'll simply do the right things because they've become part of your routine. The more positive habits you have, the easier it will be to stay disciplined and stay on track. Start by identifying the habits that will help you move toward your goals. If you want to get fit, for example, make exercise a regular part of your day. If you want to be more productive, set up a daily routine that includes focused work time and breaks. Building habits takes time, and it can be difficult at first, but consistency is key. Once you've created a habit, it becomes much easier to stick to it, even when you don't feel like it. Accountability is another powerful tool for building self-discipline. It's easy to break promises to yourself, but it's harder to break promises when someone else is holding you accountable. If you have a friend, a family member, or even a mentor who knows your goals and checks in on your progress, it gives you an extra layer of motivation. Knowing that someone else is watching can help you stay on track, especially when you're tempted to skip a task or give up altogether. Find someone who can support and encourage you, and make sure you keep them updated on your progress. Planning is also a critical component of self-discipline. When you don't have a clear plan, it's easy to get distracted or procrastinate. Having a specific, actionable plan for each day, week, and month helps you stay focused and on track. Break down your larger goals into smaller, more manageable tasks, and schedule time to work on them. Having a clear plan in place removes the guesswork and helps you stay disciplined, knowing exactly what you need to do and when you need to do it. Another aspect of developing self-discipline is learning how to manage temptation. Temptations will always be there, and they can often derail your best efforts. Whether it's the lure of social media, the comfort of procrastination, or the desire to take shortcuts, giving in to temptation is a common challenge for everyone. The key to staying disciplined is not to eliminate temptation entirely, but to build strategies for managing it. One way to do this is by practicing delayed gratification. Instead of giving in to immediate rewards, focus on the long-term benefits of staying disciplined and staying on track. Remind yourself of why you're working toward your goals and the rewards you'll reap later. In some cases, it may help to remove temptations from your environment altogether. For example, if you're trying to avoid unhealthy food, don't keep it in your house. If you're trying to stay focused at work, turn off your phone or use apps that block distracting websites. By removing distractions or temptations from your environment, you make it easier to stick to your goals and stay disciplined. Self-discipline also involves saying no to things that don't serve your greater purpose. It's easy to say yes to everything, whether it's extra work, social obligations, or invitations that don't align with your priorities, but every time you say yes to something, you're saying no to something else. If you're saying yes to things that don't move you closer to your goals, you're draining your time and energy. Learning to say no is a key part of developing self-discipline. Be selective about how you spend your time and make sure it's spent on things that align with your values and goals. Along with saying no to distractions, it's important to recognize and manage your emotions. Emotions can be powerful, and when you let them take control, they can derail your progress. If you're feeling angry, stressed, or frustrated, it can be tempting to give up or avoid doing the work. but self-discipline means pushing through those emotions and continuing to move forward, even when it's hard. It's not about ignoring your feelings, but about recognizing them and choosing to act despite them. By learning how to manage your emotions and not let them dictate your behavior, you can stay disciplined and stay focused on your long-term success. One of the hardest things about developing self-discipline is overcoming the feeling of instant gratification. In today's world, we're used to getting things quickly. Whether it's food, entertainment, or information, we can have nearly anything we want in an instant. But achieving long-term goals takes time and effort, and there's no quick fix. Self-discipline means putting off the immediate pleasure in favor of the long-term rewards. It's about recognizing that the temporary discomfort you may feel now will pay off in the future. This mindset shift is key to building lasting discipline and achieving success. Self-discipline also requires patience and resilience. There will be setbacks, challenges, and times when you feel like giving up. But developing the ability to bounce back from setbacks and stay committed to your goals is crucial. When you face a challenge, instead of seeing it as a reason to quit, use it as an opportunity to grow stronger. Every time you keep going in the face of adversity, you build more self-discipline. It's a muscle that gets stronger the more you use it. As you continue to work on building self-discipline, it's important to celebrate your successes, no matter how small. Every time you follow through on a task, stay focused despite distractions, or make progress toward your goals, take a moment to acknowledge your achievement. This positive reinforcement helps build momentum and reinforces the habit of discipline. The more you recognize your progress, the more motivated you'll be to continue. Developing self-discipline is not about being perfect or having every day go according to plan. It's about making consistent, deliberate choices that move you closer to your goals. It's about recognizing that progress is a process and that setbacks are part of that process. As you practice self-discipline and continue to refine your habits, you'll notice that it becomes easier to stay on track. Over time, you'll find that your self-discipline becomes an integral part of who you are, and it will help you reach heights you once thought were impossible. The key is to stay committed, be patient, and trust that the effort you put in today will lead to the success you desire tomorrow. Chapter 9. Boosting your energy and confidence. Energy and confidence are two of the most important resources you can have when it comes to achieving your goals. Without energy, it's hard to stay productive, focused, or motivated. Without confidence, it's difficult to believe in yourself or take the necessary steps to succeed. The good news is that both energy and confidence are within your control. They're not fixed traits, but rather things you can develop and improve with intentional effort. The first thing to understand is that energy isn't just about how much sleep you get or how much coffee you drink. While those things matter, your overall energy levels are also influenced by what you eat, how you move, and how you take care of your mind and body. If you want to boost your energy, you need to take a holistic approach. That means making conscious choices about what you put into your body, how you move, and how you manage your mental and emotional health. One of the simplest ways to boost your energy is by improving your diet. The food you eat directly impacts your energy levels. Junk food and sugary snacks may give you a temporary energy boost, but they're often followed by a crash that leaves you feeling drained. On the other hand, nutritious foods like fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and lean proteins provide sustained energy throughout the day. Eating balanced meals and avoiding processed foods can make a big difference in how energized you feel. In addition to eating well, exercise plays a huge role in boosting energy. It might sound counterintuitive after all. Doesn't working out leave you tired? But regular physical activity actually increases your overall energy levels. When you exercise, your body releases endorphins, which help to improve mood and increase feelings of well-being. Exercise also improves circulation, which means your muscles and organs receive more oxygen and nutrients, making you feel more energized. Even something as simple as going for a brisk walk or doing a short workout each day can have a significant impact on your energy levels. Beyond physical health, managing your mental health is equally important for maintaining high energy levels. Stress, anxiety, and negative emotions drain your energy and make it harder to stay focused and productive. Learning how to manage stress and maintain a positive mindset can help conserve your energy for the things that matter most. Practicing mindfulness, meditation, or deep breathing exercises can help you stay calm and centered, even when life gets chaotic. Taking time each day to clear your mind and relax can also help reduce mental fatigue and prevent burnout. Another way to boost your energy is by making sure you're getting enough rest. Sleep is crucial for both physical and mental restoration. When you sleep, your body repairs itself, and your brain processes information from the day. If you don't get enough rest, you'll find that your energy levels are depleted, and you'll struggle to focus, think clearly, or stay motivated. It's not just about how many hours of sleep you get, but also the quality of that sleep. Try to establish a consistent bedtime routine, avoid screens before bed, and make sure your sleeping environment is quiet and comfortable. Prioritizing rest will leave you feeling more energized and ready to tackle the day ahead. In addition to physical energy, confidence plays a crucial role in how you approach your goals. When you believe in yourself and your abilities, you're more likely to take action, push through challenges, and stay motivated when things get tough. Confidence is built through experience, but there are steps you can take to increase it on a daily basis. One of the most effective ways to build confidence is by setting and achieving small goals. Each time you accomplish something, no matter how small, you gain a sense of pride and accomplishment. Over time, these small wins build up, and your confidence grows. The key is to start with goals that are within your reach and gradually increase the difficulty as you achieve them. As you build a track record of success, you'll begin to believe in your ability to tackle bigger challenges. Another important aspect of confidence is self-talk. The way you speak to yourself has a profound effect on your mindset and your belief in your abilities. If you constantly tell yourself that you're not good enough or that you'll never succeed, your confidence will be shattered. On the other hand, when you speak positively to yourself and focus on your strengths, your confidence will grow. Replace negative thoughts with affirmations that reinforce your capabilities. Every time you achieve something, acknowledge it and give yourself credit for your efforts. It's also important to embrace failure as part of the journey to success. Too often, people let fear of failure hold them back from taking action, but failure is not the end, it's an opportunity to learn and grow. When you fail, take the lesson and move forward with more wisdom and determination. Every successful person has faced failure at some point, but they didn't let it stop them. Instead, they used it as fuel to keep going. Embrace failure as a natural part of the process, and remember that it doesn't define you. Surrounding yourself with positive influences can also boost your confidence. The people you spend time with have a significant impact on how you view yourself. If you're surrounded by people who encourage and support you, you're more likely to feel confident in your abilities. On the other hand, if you're around people who are negative, critical, or unsupportive, it can be difficult to maintain your confidence. Surround yourself with individuals who lift you up, believe in your potential, and inspire you to be your best self. Another way to build confidence is by taking care of your appearance. This might seem superficial, but how you present yourself can have a direct impact on how you feel. When you dress well, groom yourself, and take care of your body, you're sending a message to yourself that you value and respect who you are. Looking your best can give you a confidence boost and help you feel more empowered in your day-to-day life. Taking risks is also an essential part of building confidence. Stepping outside your comfort zone, even in small ways, forces you to confront fear and uncertainty. Each time you take a risk and succeed, your confidence grows. Even if things don't work out as planned, The experience will help you build resilience and prepare you for future challenges. Confidence comes from knowing that you can handle whatever life throws at you, and taking risks helps you prove that to yourself. In addition to boosting energy and confidence, it's essential to maintain balance in your life. When you're constantly pushing yourself to be productive, it can be easy to burn out and lose motivation. Make sure you're taking time for activities that recharge and rejuvenate you. Whether it's spending time with loved ones, pursuing hobbies, or simply relaxing, finding balance will help you stay energized and confident in the long run. Remember that boosting energy and confidence is an ongoing process. It's not something that happens overnight, but with consistent effort, you can make significant progress. The more you take care of your body, mind, and spirit, the more energy you'll have to put toward your goals. The more you practice self-belief and take action, the more confident you'll become. As you continue to nurture both your energy and confidence, you'll find that nothing is out of reach. You'll be able to face challenges with a clear mind, a positive attitude, and the unwavering belief that you have what it takes to succeed. Chapter 10. The Power of a Positive Mindset. Your mindset shapes everything. It's the lens through which you view the world, and it can either propel you forward or hold you back. The way you think influences how you feel, how you act, and ultimately how you live your life. A positive mindset isn't about ignoring the challenges or pretending that life is always perfect. It's about approaching each situation with the belief that you can handle it and that things can get better. It's about choosing optimism over pessimism, hope over doubt, and action over inaction. The first thing to realize is that a positive mindset is a choice. It's not something you're born with, and it's not something that happens by chance. You can train yourself to think more positively, just as you can develop a new habit or skill. It starts with awareness. Pay attention to the way you think. Are your thoughts mostly negative or positive? Do you focus on what you can control, or do you dwell on things that are beyond your control? The first step in creating a more positive mindset is to notice where your thoughts go and make a conscious effort to steer them in a more optimistic direction. When you think positively, you open up new possibilities for yourself. You begin to see opportunities instead of obstacles, and you start believing that success is possible. Positive thinking doesn't mean ignoring difficulties, it means approaching them with a belief that you can find solutions. When you face challenges, a positive mindset helps you stay resilient. Instead of feeling defeated or overwhelmed, you see the situation as something you can handle and learn from. Even when things go wrong, you focus on the lessons rather than the failure. One of the most powerful ways to build a positive mindset is by practicing gratitude. Focusing on what you're grateful for shifts your attention away from what's lacking or going wrong. It helps you appreciate the good things in your life, no matter how small they might seem. Gratitude is a powerful antidote to negativity. It reminds you that even in tough times, there is always something to be thankful for. You don't have to wait for major successes or milestones to feel grateful. The simple things, a good cup of coffee, a moment of peace, a conversation with a friend can be enough to shift your mindset and boost your mood. Start incorporating gratitude into your daily routine. At the beginning or end of each day, take a moment to think about what you're grateful for. It doesn't have to be a long list, just a few things will do. You might be grateful for your health, your family, or a positive experience at work. The more you practice gratitude, the more natural it will become to focus on the positive aspects of your life. Over time, it will help reframe your thinking and make it easier to maintain a positive mindset, even when things aren't going perfectly. Another way to strengthen your positive mindset is by surrounding yourself with positivity. The people you interact with have a significant impact on how you think and feel. If you spend time with negative, pessimistic people, it can be difficult to maintain a positive outlook yourself. On the other hand, if you surround yourself with people who uplift, encourage, and inspire you, it becomes easier to stay positive. Seek out relationships that are supportive and nurturing. Avoid people who bring you down or drain your energy. Choose to spend time with those who make you feel good about yourself and your potential. In addition to the people you spend time with, the content you consume also plays a role in shaping your mindset. The news, social media, and entertainment can all influence your thoughts and emotions. If you're constantly consuming negative or fear-based content, it can be hard to stay positive. On the other hand, if you choose to consume uplifting, inspiring, and empowering content, you'll begin to notice a shift in your mindset. This could mean listening to podcasts, reading books, or watching videos that motivate you and reinforce a positive outlook. It's also important to manage negative self-talk. We all have an inner voice that comments on our actions, thoughts, and experiences. That voice can be your biggest cheerleader or your harshest critic. Negative self-talk can undermine your confidence and keep you stuck in a cycle of doubt and self-criticism. The key is to recognize when you're engaging in negative self-talk and replace it with more positive, affirming thoughts. Instead of thinking, "I'm not good enough," replace it with, "I am capable and have the skills to improve." When you change your internal dialogue, you begin to shift your mindset from one of limitation to one of possibility. One of the reasons a positive mindset is so powerful is because it influences your actions. When you believe that you can succeed, you're more likely to take the necessary steps to make your dreams a reality. Positive thinking fuels action, and action leads to results. When you think positively, you're more likely to take risks, face challenges head-on, and keep going even when things get tough. On the other hand, when you think negatively, you might hold back, procrastinate, or give up at the first sign of difficulty. A positive mindset empowers you to take consistent action toward your goals, even when the path isn't easy. Your mindset also plays a key role in your emotional well-being. A positive mindset helps you manage stress, anxiety, and other difficult emotions. When you approach challenges with optimism, you're less likely to get overwhelmed or discouraged. You're more likely to stay calm and focused, even in the face of adversity. The ability to stay positive doesn't mean that you'll never experience negative emotions, simply means that you have the tools to manage them more effectively. By practicing mindfulness, self-compassion, and emotional regulation, you can stay grounded and resilient, no matter what life throws your way. A positive mindset also helps you bounce back from failure. Failure is a natural part of the journey towards success, and it's something everyone experiences. But how you respond to failure determines whether you'll keep moving forward or give up. A positive mindset allows you to view failure as a lesson rather than a setback. Instead of dwelling on mistakes, you look for ways to improve and grow. When you approach failure with a growth mindset, you see it as an opportunity to learn and get better. This mindset shift is crucial for long-term success. It allows you to embrace challenges and keep going, even when things don't go as planned. Another aspect of maintaining a positive mindset is cultivating patience. Success rarely happens overnight, and it's easy to become frustrated or discouraged when things don't move as quickly as you'd like. But a positive mindset allows you to trust the process and stay patient. You understand that progress takes time, and you're willing to put in the effort, even when the results aren't immediate. Patience is a key ingredient in maintaining a positive mindset, as it helps you stay focused on the bigger picture and remain hopeful even when things seem slow or uncertain. A positive mindset is essential for building resilience. Life will always throw challenges your way, but your ability to bounce back depends on how you view those challenges. If you see them as obstacles that are too big to overcome, you'll likely feel defeated. But if you approach them with the belief that you can find a solution, you'll be more likely to keep going, even when things get tough. A positive mindset helps you stay strong, optimistic, and determined, no matter what challenges come your way. Building and maintaining a positive mindset is an ongoing process. It's not something you can achieve once and then forget about. It requires daily effort and intention. But the more you practice positivity, the easier it becomes. The more you choose to focus on the good, the more you'll begin to see it. As you continue to cultivate a positive mindset, you'll find that your life transforms in ways you never imagined. With a positive mindset, you can overcome anything, achieve your dreams, and live the life you were meant to live. Chapter 11. Surrounding yourself with the right people. The people you choose to surround yourself with have a profound impact on your mindset, attitude, and overall success. The right group of individuals can uplift you, motivate you, and push you to reach your highest potential. On the other hand, toxic relationships and negative influences can hold you back, drain your energy, and keep you from achieving your goals. Understanding the power of your inner circle and making conscious decisions about the people you spend time with is key to unlocking your full potential. When you surround yourself with the right people, you're creating an environment that nurtures your growth. Positive relationships encourage you to keep going, even when things are tough. These are the people who believe in you when you doubt yourself, who cheer for your success, and who are there to pick you up when you stumble. They support you in ways that go beyond just words. They take action to show that they genuinely care about your well-being and success. Their encouragement becomes a driving force that propels you forward, especially when you're feeling unsure or discouraged. Think about the people in your life right now. Are they supporting you in your goals and dreams, or are they holding you back? Do they encourage your personal development, or do they make you feel small or incapable? The truth is, your environment plays a huge role in your success. If you're surrounded by people who are constantly negative, who don't believe in growth or progress, it can be incredibly difficult to maintain a positive mindset and stay motivated. Their energy can drain you, and their doubts can seep into your own thoughts. In contrast, when you surround yourself with individuals who have a growth mindset, who are passionate about learning and improving, you're more likely to adopt those same attitudes. The people you spend time with influence your own beliefs, attitudes, and behaviors. If you're hanging out with individuals who are constantly seeking personal growth, striving to become better versions of themselves, and working toward their goals, you'll naturally find yourself doing the same. You begin to absorb their energy and enthusiasm, and it becomes easier to stay focused and motivated on your own path. One important aspect of surrounding yourself with the right people is seeking out individuals who are where you want to be. If you're serious about personal growth and success, it's important to be around people who have already achieved what you want to achieve. These people can provide invaluable guidance and advice as they've walked the path before you. They can offer insights, share strategies, and help you avoid common mistakes. Having mentors or role models in your life is a powerful way to fast-track your growth. Learning from those who have already accomplished what you're striving for helps you avoid unnecessary setbacks and gives you a clear roadmap for success. However, it's also important to remember that not every relationship needs to be a mentor-mentee dynamic. Building a supportive network of peers is just as important. Peer groups are made up of people who are on a similar journey, and they can offer a sense of camaraderie and mutual support. These relationships are often based on shared goals, experiences, and challenges. Being able to relate to others who are facing the same struggles can be incredibly reassuring and motivating. It reminds you that you're not alone in your journey, and that others understand the hurdles you're working to overcome. At the same time, it's crucial to distance yourself from individuals who are negative or toxic. These are the people who constantly complain, spread negativity, and focus on limitations rather than possibilities. They may make you feel like your dreams are unrealistic, or that you're not capable of achieving your goals. Being around them can have a draining effect on your energy and mindset. It's important to recognize these relationships for what they are and take steps to protect your peace and energy. This might mean setting boundaries, reducing contact, or even cutting ties altogether if necessary. While it may feel difficult to distance yourself from certain people, it's essential to prioritize your own well-being and growth. Sometimes, letting go of toxic relationships is one of the most freeing and empowering decisions you can make. It's not about being mean or judgmental, it's about taking care of yourself and creating an environment that supports your personal development. Remember that every person you allow into your life is taking up space in your mind and energy. Make sure that those people are adding value to your life, not detracting from it. Another important factor in building the right network is being mindful of how you show up for others. It's not just about receiving support, it's also about offering it. Positive relationships are built on mutual respect, trust, and encouragement. Be the kind of person who supports others in their own growth. Celebrate their successes, offer help when needed, and be a positive influence in their lives. When you give back, you attract more positivity into your own life. The energy you put out into the world tends to come back to you in unexpected ways. Being a supportive friend, colleague, or mentor will also help you attract like-minded people who share your values and aspirations. In addition to the individuals you interact with directly, the broader community you participate in can also play a significant role in your growth. Communities of like-minded individuals can provide a sense of belonging and shared purpose. Whether it's an online group, a professional organization, or a local meetup, being part of a community can provide you with a sense of accountability, inspiration, and motivation. It's easy to get stuck in your own bubble, but connecting with others who share your passions can expand your horizons and give you new perspectives. The connections you make within these communities can open up new opportunities and support your personal and professional growth in ways you may not have anticipated. The key to surrounding yourself with the right people is being intentional. You can't just wait for the right people to come into your life. You have to actively seek them out. Attend events, engage in online communities, and make an effort to connect with people who align with your values and goals. Don't be afraid to reach out to mentors or peers who inspire you. Building meaningful relationships takes time and effort, but the rewards are well worth it. As you continue to surround yourself with positive influences, you'll notice a shift in your own energy and mindset. You'll begin to feel more supported, motivated, and empowered to take on the challenges that lie ahead. At times, you may also encounter resistance from others who don't understand your journey. Some people may question your choices or try to dissuade you from pursuing your goals. These are often the individuals who are stuck in their own limitations or fears, and they project those onto you. It's important to recognize that their doubts are not a reflection of your abilities. Stay focused on your own vision and goals, and don't let others' opinions distract you from your path. The right people will support your growth, even if they don't fully understand every decision you make. As you continue to build a supportive network and distance yourself from negativity, you'll start to feel more confident in your abilities and more inspired to take action. The people you spend time with are not just your companions, they are your mirrors. They reflect back to you who you are, what you believe in, and what you're capable of. Choose wisely, and you'll find that the right people will help you unlock your full potential and achieve the life you've always dreamed of. Chapter 12. Managing Stress and Staying Motivated. Stress is an inevitable part of life, but how you manage it can make all the difference in achieving your goals and maintaining your well-being. We all face pressure in various forms, whether it's related to work, personal relationships, finances, or other challenges. The key to success isn't about avoiding stress altogether. It's about learning how to handle it effectively so that it doesn't overwhelm or derail your progress. Knowing how to manage stress is crucial for maintaining both your mental and physical health as you strive to reach your full potential. When stress hits, it's easy to feel like it's taking control of your life. You might feel overwhelmed, anxious, or even paralyzed by everything that's going on. It's in these moments that you need to remind yourself that stress is a natural response, but it doesn't have to define you or stop you from moving forward. The first step in managing stress is understanding that it's not the stress itself that's the problem, but how you respond to it. In other words, your reactions are what determine whether stress becomes a barrier or a stepping stone. One effective strategy for managing stress is focusing on what you can control. Often, stress arises when we feel like things are spinning out of our grasp. The more we try to control everything, the more we feel overwhelmed. By narrowing your focus to the things within your power to influence, you can regain a sense of control and reduce anxiety. For example, if you're facing a tight deadline at work, focus on breaking the task into smaller, more manageable steps instead of stressing over the entire project. Taking one step at a time helps you feel more in control of the situation and allows you to make steady progress without feeling paralyzed. It's also important to recognize that not everything in life will go according to plan. There will be moments when things don't work out as expected, and when this happens, it's easy to get discouraged. However, the way you handle setbacks can either keep you stuck or propel you forward. Instead of letting failure or disappointment add to your stress, try to view these moments as opportunities to learn and grow. Every mistake or challenge offers a lesson that can make you stronger and more resilient in the long run. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" shift your focus to, "What can I learn from this?" This change in perspective can transform a stressful situation into a valuable experience. Managing stress also involves taking care of your body. Physical health is closely tied to mental health, and when you neglect your physical well-being, stress tends to build up faster and become harder to manage. Regular exercise, proper nutrition, and enough sleep are essential for maintaining the energy and mental clarity you need to navigate life's challenges. Exercise, in particular, is a great way to release built-up tension and boost your mood. It doesn't have to be an intense workout. Simple activities like walking, yoga, or stretching can have a significant impact on reducing stress and improving your overall health. Along with physical health, emotional well-being plays a crucial role in stress management. Taking time for yourself is vital, especially when you're juggling multiple responsibilities. Don't be afraid to say no when you're stretched too thin, and make sure to carve out time for activities that help you recharge. This could be as simple as reading a book, meditating, journaling, or spending time with loved ones. Having regular moments of downtime allows you to reset and replenish your energy, making it easier to tackle the challenges that come your way without feeling overwhelmed. Another important aspect of managing stress is learning how to prioritize and delegate. Trying to do everything yourself can lead to burnout and increased stress levels. Be realistic about what you can handle and be willing to delegate tasks when possible. If you're working on a big project, for example, don't hesitate to ask for help from colleagues or team members. Trusting others to contribute not only eases your workload, but also strengthens relationships and fosters a sense of collaboration. Remember, asking for help is not a sign of weakness. It's a sign of strength and smart decision-making. Sometimes, the best way to cope with stress is to change your environment. If you're feeling overwhelmed in a particular setting, take a break and step outside. A change of scenery can provide a mental reset and allow you to return to your tasks with a clearer mind. Even taking a few deep breaths or stretching for a minute can help reduce the intensity of stress in the moment. If possible, make your workspace or living environment a place that promotes calmness and productivity. Keeping your surroundings clean, organized, and free of distractions can have a positive impact on your mental state and reduce the feeling of being overwhelmed. Mindfulness is another powerful tool in stress management. Being present in the moment helps you avoid getting caught up in worries about the past or future. When you practice mindfulness, you focus on what's happening right now, which can reduce feelings of anxiety and overwhelm. Simple practices like mindful breathing, paying attention to your surroundings, or even eating a meal without distractions can bring your mind back to the present and help you feel more centered and calm. Over time, mindfulness can train your brain to respond more calmly to stresses, making it easier to stay grounded when challenges arise. Managing stress also involves shifting your mindset from one of scarcity to one of abundance. Often, stress arises when we feel like we don't have enough time, enough resources, or enough energy. This mindset of lack can create a constant sense of pressure and urgency. On the other hand, adopting an abundance mindset allows you to recognize that there's always more to go around, and you have the ability to find creative solutions to problems. When you believe that there is plenty of time, resources, and support available to you, you're better able to handle stress because you're not constantly worried about running out of what you need. Another key factor in stress management is learning to set realistic expectations for yourself. It's easy to become stressed when you're constantly pushing yourself to achieve more, without giving yourself enough time to rest and recover. Recognizing that you are human and that you can't do everything perfectly all the time is an important part of managing stress. Be kind to yourself when you fall short of your goals or encounter setbacks. Perfectionism only increases stress, whereas embracing imperfection and allowing yourself grace creates a healthier, more balanced approach to success. Stress is also much easier to handle when you're clear about your priorities. Knowing what matters most to you allows you to stay focused on the things that align with your values and goals. When you get clear about your top priorities, you can make decisions based on what will move you closer to your desired outcomes, rather than getting caught up in distractions or things that aren't aligned with your vision. This clarity helps you stay calm and confident even when things get hectic, because you know exactly where to focus your energy. Remember, stress is a part of life, but it doesn't have to control your life. The way you respond to stress is what determines how it affects you. By learning to manage stress effectively, you not only protect your mental and physical health, but also create a stronger foundation for pursuing your goals. When you prioritize self-care, manage your time wisely, and stay focused on what you can control, stress becomes just another obstacle you can overcome, rather than a force that holds you back. Chapter 13. Mastering Time and Productivity. Time is one of the most valuable resources we have, yet it's also one of the easiest things to waste if we're not intentional with how we use it. In today's fast-paced world, it can feel like there's never enough time to get everything done. Between work, family, social obligations, and personal goals, it can often seem like the day slips away before we've made any real progress. The truth is, time is something we can never get back, but by managing it effectively, we can maximize every minute and make the most of each day. A major part of time management is acknowledging that no one can truly manage time in the sense of controlling how much of it we have. What we do control, however, is how we spend our time. The decisions we make about where we put our energy and focus ultimately shape how we experience our days. If you want to unlock your full potential, it starts with making smarter choices about how you spend your time. The first step in becoming more productive is to recognize that time is not an endless resource. Once you truly understand that time is finite, it changes how you view everything else. It's easy to procrastinate or put things off when you feel like there's an infinite amount of time available. But when you're mindful of how precious each moment is, you begin to take your time more seriously. You start to realize that every minute spent on a task is a minute that can't be used for something else. This realization is powerful because it helps you prioritize what's truly important. One effective way to manage time is to set clear priorities. Without a clear sense of what matters most, it's easy to get caught up in the small, everyday tasks that don't move you toward your goals. Think about your big picture objectives, the things that are most important to you, and use them as a guide when deciding how to spend your time. For example, if you're working toward a career promotion or trying to build a healthier lifestyle, those goals should take precedence over less important tasks. By aligning your time with your priorities, you make it easier to stay focused on what truly matters. Breaking down larger goals into smaller, manageable tasks is another key to effective time management. When you're faced with a big project or a major goal, it's easy to feel overwhelmed by the sheer size of it. This sense of overwhelm can lead to procrastination, where you put things off because you don't know where to start. Instead of trying to tackle everything at once, Break your goals into smaller, more achievable steps. For example, if your goal is to write a book, don't focus on the entire manuscript. Start by writing one chapter at a time, and then break that chapter into smaller sections. This approach makes the task feel less daunting and gives you a clear path to follow. Another important aspect of time management is learning how to say no. We often overcommit ourselves because we feel guilty or obligated to say yes to every request or opportunity that comes our way. However, saying yes to everything means saying no to things that matter more. Learning to politely decline invitations, projects, or commitments that don't align with your priorities is crucial for managing your time effectively. Saying no doesn't make you rude or unkind. It simply means that you're choosing to focus on what's most important to you. This allows you to preserve your energy and attention for the tasks and people that truly matter. Effective time management also involves recognizing your most productive times of the day. Some people work best in the mornings, while others are more productive in the afternoons or evenings. By identifying when you're most focused and energized, you can plan your most important tasks around these times. For instance, if you're a morning person, tackle your most challenging tasks early in the day when your mind is fresh. Save routine or less demanding tasks for times when your energy levels are lower. This ensures that you're working at your best and not wasting valuable time on tasks that require more focus when you're feeling fatigued. Staying organized is another crucial factor in managing your time effectively. When you're disorganized, it takes longer to find what you need, which wastes time and creates unnecessary stress. A cluttered environment can also make it harder to focus on the task at hand. One simple way to stay organized is to create a system for managing tasks and deadlines. Whether you prefer digital tools like calendars and task management apps or a traditional paper planner, having a clear system in place helps you stay on top of what needs to be done. Review your tasks regularly and prioritize them according to urgency and importance. This keeps you on track and prevents you from wasting time on things that don't matter. Another key time management strategy is avoiding distractions. In today's digital world, distractions are everywhere. Social media, emails, and text messages can all pull your attention away from what you're doing, making it harder to stay focused and productive. One way to minimize distractions is to set aside specific times for checking your messages or browsing social media. Outside of those times, make an effort to stay focused on the task at hand. If you're working on a project, turn off notifications or put your phone in another room to minimize distractions. By creating an environment where distractions are limited, you make it easier to stay focused and work more efficiently. It's also essential to build in time for breaks. While it may seem counterintuitive, taking regular breaks can actually improve your productivity in the long run. Working for long periods without rest can lead to burnout, fatigue, and decreased focus. Instead, break your work into focused chunks, followed by short breaks. For example, the Pomodoro technique suggests working for 25 minutes and then taking a 5-minute break. After 4 work sessions, take a longer break of 15 to 30 minutes. These breaks give your brain a chance to recharge and help you maintain high levels of focus and energy throughout the day. Time management isn't just about being productive, it's also about creating balance in your life. While work and personal goals are important, it's equally crucial to make time for rest, relaxation, and activities that bring you joy. Without balance, you risk burning out and losing the motivation to keep moving forward. Make sure to schedule time for yourself, whether that's a hobby, spending time with loved ones, or simply relaxing. When you take care of your mental and physical health, you're better equipped to manage your time effectively and achieve your goals. Remember that time management is a skill that takes practice. It's not something that comes naturally to everyone, and it may take time to find what works best for you. Be patient with yourself as you develop new habits and strategies for managing your time. It's okay to make mistakes along the way. What matters is that you keep learning and improving. As you get better at managing your time, you'll find that you're able to accomplish more, reduce stress, and feel more in control of your life. Effective time management is about making conscious decisions that align with your values and goals. By prioritizing what matters most, staying organized, minimizing distractions, and taking care of yourself, you can maximize your time and unlock your full potential. It's not about squeezing more tasks into your day. It's about focusing on the tasks that truly matter and using your time wisely to make meaningful progress. Time is a resource that, when used well, can propel you towards success, fulfillment, and lasting happiness. Chapter 14. Building Resilience and Never Giving Up. Resilience is often seen as the ability to bounce back from adversity, but it's more than just reacting to challenges. It's about developing the mental toughness and emotional strength to face hardships head-on and keep moving forward, even when the road ahead feels impossible. Life will throw curveballs at you, that's a given. But the way you respond, the way you push through the tough times, determines how successful you'll ultimately be. Resilience doesn't mean never failing or never feeling down. It means having the strength to rise again after you fall, and to keep going no matter how many times you stumble along the way. One of the first things to understand about resilience is that it's not something you're born with. It's a skill, a mindset, something you can develop and strengthen over time. It's easy to look at others who seem to handle tough situations with ease and wonder how they do it. But the truth is that resilience is built through experiences, choices, and habits. Every challenge you face, every setback, is an opportunity to grow stronger, to build resilience. You learn how to weather the storm and come out the other side a little tougher, a little wiser, and a little more determined. Resilience is about persistence. When things don't go as planned, it's tempting to give up, to throw in the towel and walk away. But that's the easy way out. The resilient person understands that success isn't always immediate, and failure isn't permanent. Instead of giving up when faced with a setback, the resilient person looks for solutions, recalibrates, and continues to move forward. They see challenges not as roadblocks, but as stepping stones that help them grow. The key is not to let failure define you. Failing is a part of the process, not the end of the road. What truly matters is how you pick yourself up and keep moving, no matter what. A major part of resilience is the ability to maintain a positive outlook, even in the face of adversity. This doesn't mean you have to be happy all the time or pretend that everything is okay when it's not. It means finding a way to look at each situation with a mindset that allows you to learn from it and grow. Even in the hardest times, you can choose to look for the lesson. You can choose to find the silver lining, even when it feels hidden beneath the clouds. Resilient people don't see themselves as victims of circumstance. They see themselves as active participants in their own journey. They take ownership of their responses to life's challenges, which gives them the power to shape their own future. Building resilience also involves developing the ability to manage stress. Stress is a part of life, but how you deal with it can make all the difference. Resilience isn't about avoiding stress. It's about learning how to handle it in a way that doesn't overwhelm you. One key to managing stress is to focus on what's within your control. When you're dealing with a difficult situation, it's easy to get bogged down by everything that's going wrong. But instead of worrying about things you can't control, focus on the actions you can take. This shift in focus helps reduce stress and gives you a sense of empowerment. Knowing that you have the ability to control your responses and actions, no matter the external circumstances, is a powerful tool in building resilience. Another important aspect of resilience is maintaining strong relationships with others. While resilience is an internal trait, it's also supported by the people around you. Having a strong support system, friends, family, mentors, or colleagues can make all the difference when you're going through a tough time. Resilient people know that they don't have to face challenges alone. They reach out for support, ask for help when they need it, and allow others to lift them up. This network of support helps remind them that they are not alone, and it provides encouragement when their own strength falters. Self-care is another essential component of resilience. Taking care of yourself physically, mentally, and emotionally helps ensure that you're able to handle life's challenges with strength and clarity. When you're physically exhausted or mentally drained, it's harder to be resilient in the face of adversity. That's why it's so important to prioritize self-care. Exercise, rest, and healthy eating are all important for keeping your body in shape and your mind sharp. But emotional self-care is just as important. It's essential to take time for yourself, to rest, to recharge, and to do things that make you feel good. This helps you build the internal strength needed to face the difficulties life inevitably throws your way. Another powerful tool in developing resilience is learning to embrace change. Life is unpredictable. Things rarely go as planned. Resilient people understand that change is a natural part of life, and rather than resist it, they adapt to it. When something changes, whether it's a career shift, a relationship challenge, or a personal setback, resilient people take it in stride. They don't see change as a threat, but as an opportunity to grow and evolve. By embracing change and staying flexible in your approach, you create the mental space needed to adapt, learn, and thrive, no matter the circumstances. It's also important to develop a growth mindset if you want to become more resilient. People with a growth mindset believe that their abilities and intelligence can be developed with effort, learning, and persistence. They see failures as opportunities to improve, rather than as a reflection of their limitations. When you have a growth mindset, you understand that setbacks are part of the process and that they don't define your worth or potential. This mindset allows you to approach challenges with curiosity and determination, knowing that each obstacle is a chance to learn and grow. Resilience also involves the ability to forgive not just others, but yourself. When things go wrong, it's easy to fall into the trap of self-blame or bitterness toward others. But holding on to anger or regret only weighs you down and prevents you from moving forward. Forgiveness, on the other hand, frees you to heal and move on. When you forgive, you let go of the negative emotions that keep you stuck, and you make space for growth. This doesn't mean you forget the hurt or that you condone bad behavior. It simply means that you choose to release the grip that pain has on you, so you can focus on your future and the positive changes you want to make. Resilience requires patience. Growth takes time, and building resilience is no different. There will be moments when you feel like you've taken 2 steps forward only to be knocked back 1 step. But remember, resilience isn't about perfection. It's about progress. The key is to keep moving forward, even when things feel tough. As you continue to face challenges and learn from them, your resilience will grow stronger. Each time you rise after a fall, you prove to yourself that you are capable of handling whatever comes your way. The road to resilience isn't always easy, but it's always worth it. With each challenge you face and overcome, you become stronger, more confident, and more capable of handling life's ups and downs. By developing the mental and emotional strength to rise above setbacks and keep going, you unlock your full potential and create a life that's truly your own one, that's filled with purpose, growth, and the ability to face any challenge with strength and grace. Chapter 15. The Power of Gratitude and Positivity. Gratitude has the power to transform your life in ways that are almost hard to believe. It's easy to get caught up in the stresses of daily life, to focus on what's going wrong or what we don't have. But when you shift your focus to what you're grateful for, everything changes. Gratitude isn't just a nice feeling, it's a tool you can use to change your perspective, to shift your mindset, and to unlock doors to personal growth and success. It's something that can bring more joy, peace, and fulfillment into your life, no matter your circumstances. The first thing to realize about gratitude is that it's not about denying the challenges or hardships in your life. It's not about pretending everything is perfect. Life isn't always easy, and things don't always go the way we want them to. But even in the midst of difficulties, there are always things to be grateful for. It could be something as simple as a warm cup of coffee in the morning, the smile of a friend, or the ability to take a deep breath and keep moving forward. Gratitude is about shifting your focus away from what you don't have, and instead appreciating what you do have. When you make gratitude a daily practice, it starts to change your mindset. You begin to notice the positive things in your life that you may have previously overlooked. You start to appreciate the little moments that bring you joy, the things you take for granted. It's easy to get caught up in what's missing or what's wrong, but when you practice gratitude, you train your mind to see what's right, what's good, and what's worth celebrating. Over time, this can have a profound impact on how you view your life, how you approach challenges, and how you interact with others. Gratitude has a ripple effect. When you express gratitude, it not only impacts you but also the people around you. When you show appreciation for the people in your life, whether it's a simple thank you or a more heartfelt gesture, it strengthens your relationships. Gratitude creates a sense of connection, of recognition, and of mutual respect. It reminds people that they are valued, and it encourages a positive and supportive environment. And the best part, the more you give gratitude, the more you receive. When you express appreciation, it often comes back to you in unexpected ways. People appreciate being appreciated, and when you make gratitude a regular part of your life, you'll find that it's reflected back in the relationships you build. But gratitude doesn't just benefit your relationships with others, it also has a direct impact on your own well-being. Studies have shown that people who regularly practice gratitude tend to be happier, healthier, and more optimistic. Gratitude is linked to lower levels of stress, anxiety, and depression. When you focus on the positive aspects of your life, it shifts your brain away from negative thinking patterns. This shift can improve your mood, reduce your stress levels, and increase your overall sense of happiness. Gratitude encourages a mindset of abundance, which makes it easier to see opportunities, find solutions, and embrace challenges rather than feel defeated by them. Gratitude is also closely connected to self-compassion. When you practice gratitude, you begin to appreciate not just the things in your life, but also yourself. It's easy to get caught up in self-criticism and perfectionism, to feel like you're never doing enough or being enough. But gratitude reminds you to recognize your own strengths and achievements, even the small ones. It encourages you to celebrate your progress, not just your end goals. When you start to appreciate who you are and what you've accomplished, you boost your self-esteem and build a healthier relationship with yourself. One of the most powerful aspects of gratitude is its ability to shift your energy. When you're in a state of gratitude, you naturally become more positive, more hopeful, and more optimistic. This shift in energy can be contagious. When you approach life with a sense of appreciation, you attract more positivity into your life. People are drawn to those who radiate gratitude, and opportunities seem to open up when you adopt this mindset. Gratitude has the ability to shift the energy in a room, to transform a negative situation into one of hope and possibility. The practice of gratitude doesn't have to be complicated. It can be as simple as starting your day by listing 3 things you're grateful for, or taking a moment to express appreciation to someone you care about. It could be as small as pausing to appreciate the beauty of nature or the joy of a good book. The key is consistency. When you make gratitude a regular part of your life, it becomes a habit. And like any habit, it takes time to build. But the more you practice it, the easier it becomes and the more natural it feels. Over time, you'll start to notice that gratitude becomes a lens through which you see the world, and you'll begin to experience life in a whole new way. One of the most profound ways to incorporate gratitude into your life is through journaling. Taking a few minutes each day to write down what you're grateful for helps to solidify the practice and makes it easier to reflect on the positive aspects of your life. It also gives you something tangible to look back on when you're feeling down or discouraged. A gratitude journal becomes a personal record of the good things in your life, a reminder that even in tough times, there's always something to be thankful for. There will be days when it's harder to feel grateful, days when things don't seem to be going your way. On those days, it's even more important to practice gratitude. It's easy to be thankful when everything is going well, but real growth happens when you can find gratitude, even in the midst of adversity. When you can look at a difficult situation and still find something to appreciate, you strengthen your resilience. You prove to yourself that no matter what happens, you can find something to be grateful for. And that small shift in perspective can make all the difference in how you approach the challenge at hand. Gratitude is also a powerful tool for creating lasting change. When you focus on what you're grateful for, it opens up your mind to new possibilities. You start to see opportunities where you once saw only obstacles. This shift in perspective helps you move toward your goals with more determination and clarity. Gratitude helps you stay focused on what's important and keeps you grounded in your values. It gives you the strength to keep going, even when the journey feels long or the road ahead is uncertain. Gratitude reminds you that life is about more than just achieving goals or accumulating things. It's about the journey, the moments, the connections, and the experiences along the way. When you live with gratitude, you begin to appreciate the beauty in the present moment. You stop waiting for the perfect future or the next big milestone to find happiness. Instead, you start to see the richness of life right where you are. And that in itself is the ultimate key to unlocking your full potential. When you are grateful for who you are, where you are, and what you have, you open yourself up to endless possibilities, both for personal growth and for the fulfillment of your dreams. You have everything it takes to unlock your full potential. The real question is, will you take action? Every small step you take brings you closer to the life you want. Stay focused, stay consistent, and don't let doubt hold you back. Your future is in your hands. Now, go make it happen.